Welcome one and all to live pictures here from Melbourne's southeast, the Frank Holohan Soccer Complex to be precise, as we prepare to bring you this round 18 NPL Men's Victoria clash between Dandenong City and the Melbourne Knights. My name is Joey Lynch. Thank you ever so much for keeping me company on this Saturday afternoon, whether you happen to be in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, or indeed tuning in from anywhere around the world. It is a big crunch clash here in the Victorian men's top flight. A Crow derby, of course, two clubs with proud Croatian pedigree facing off today. The Croatian national anthem joining the Australian national anthem before we get things underway here, but as well also a big game in the context of both of these clubs' seasons. The Dandenong City, well, they will enter this game off the back of a 3-game winning streak. 2-0 wins against Altona, St Albans, and last week a big win over the Oakley Cannons has coach Nick Tolios' side. Well, they're within 3 points of the top 6, and with Port Melbourne facing off with Moreland City today, a crunch game if they are to either move into that top 6 or stay in touch with it. For the Knights, well, the playoff places on their minds as well. Ivan Franjic, player coach, his side come into this game needing a win, lest they finish today up to 12 points back of those playoff places. They will be at least 9 points off them if they are not able to take out the 3 points today. It will be Dandenong City getting us underway here in cold conditions. Bit of winds going around as well here in Endeavour Hills in Melbourne's southeast, but they have improved somewhat. Perfect conditions, one might say, for football, proper football weather. The hosts prepare to get us kicked off here. It will be John Hall that starts in goal. And in front of him, well, it's an unchanged side from the unit that beat the Oakley Cannons 2-0 last week. Stefan Brezovic, Jack Webster, Valley Chesnick, Danny Kim, Thomas Giannakopoulos, James Exidius, Timothy Atharinos, who scored what was deemed goal of the week in that win over the Cannons last week. The youngster, Will Bauer, George Lambateridis and Jackson Leno. Well, we'll take you through the Knights line-up in a little bit, but first, Ivan Franjic had a bit of defending to do. He had Bauer at his back as Dandy City tried to sneak something through in behind him on the left. Kim now knocking it forward. Lambateridis. He was also on the score sheet against the Cannons last week, George Lambateridis. Chesnick. Early sustained pressure from the hosts. Webster, the skipper, surveys the scene, lays it across to Danny Kim. High ball in, and it's going to sail over the head of George Lambateridis and go out for a goal kick. And with that, we can take you through the Knights lineup as goalkeeper Chris Oldfield prepares to get his first touch of the ball. In front of him, Ben Carrigan, Corey Sewell, Ivan Franjic, Mitch Hoare, Kieran Bramwell, Gian Albano, Jack Morton, Thomas Werndl, Joseph Franjic and Saif Eddin Saki. Just one change to the Knights side that beat St Albans 2-1 last week. Werndl coming into the side. Anthony Giselle saw him doing a fitness test before this one, arriving here at Frank Holohan Soccer Complex. He does not back up, and indeed is not even featured on the bench for Melbourne Knights. So a blow to the Knights in their midfield as they look to make it 2 wins on the bounce and 3 games unbeaten. This is just one of a bumper crop of games across the Victorian men's top flight taking place on this Saturday. Avondale against Hume, Manningham against Port, Moreland against St Albans, Altona versus Gully, and the Thunder versus Oakley as well. Burgers Heidelberg facing off with South Melbourne on Sunday. Carrigan. Long ball played down the flank in the direction of Bramwell. It's not a down. Hoare. He couldn't come up with it. Dandenong City throw-in. Kim. First time high ball forward. Lamadaridis was trying to get underneath it. He's going to follow it in. But Oldfield is off his lines to claim the bouncing ball. And Dandy City winning it back quickly. Kim again, the first time ball. This one lofted down the right flank. Zidius coming down with it. Corey Sewell was keeping company and inducing him to lay it off back. Webster. Radar just a bit off there. Exidius couldn't keep the ball in. Carrigan again, coming under pressure from Lamadaridis. Going to go down the left flank again, the Knights. It's been an early avenue for them. Corey Sewell on the ball. Albano's in there as well, but that's a poor ball. Lamadaridis coming away with it. And just much to the disappointment, let's just say, of Coach Nick Tolios in the dugout, immediately reacting. James Exidius has that ball played far too in front of him, and what was a promising attack will come to naught as it is another goal kick, another early goal kick for the Melbourne Knights. Of course, coming into this game, the Melbourne Knights had been averaging more than 50% of the ball in most of their games, 53.5%, good for fourth in the league. Dandy City down in 8th with 49.7, but it is the hosts currently seeing more of the ball and certainly winning the territory battle. No one in dispute. Webster comes forward to head it on. Game of head tennis has broken out. Lamadaridis trying to send it out. Bauer, only as far as Franjic, and foot race is now on. Jackson Lino should get there first. He's got Saki following along behind. Bauer keeps it in, lays it off. Danny Kim. Nobody there but Carrigan for the Knights as he claims it and then wins a free kick. Lamadaridis with the foul. There's Ivan Franjic. He's taken the set piece from just inside Hajduk's side of the pitch. They'll be forced to do a bit of defending. That ball bounces off the head of Joseph Franjic and back. Carrigan collects. Werndl keeps the play moving. Joey Franjic moving into the midfield in the absence of Anthony Giselle. Werndl coming back into the lineup and sliding in at centre back next to Carrigan. Saki. Touch let him down as that ball will bounce out for a Dandenong City throw-in, pretty much on the halfway line. Joseph Franjic knocks it forward. Now Saki. Appeals for offside on Hoare, they're unheeded. Mitch Hoare. Surrounded, has Saki in support. The run of Morton took him into an offside position, so he goes back to Ivan Franjic. Saki, Lino in his face. Carrigan, his first touch let him down. Won't be punished. Instead, Werndl coming forward with it for Melbourne Knights. Werndl, well, the centre-back's on an adventure, the cutback. Rolled out of bounds before it was claimed by Hall. And Werndl jogging back now after a loping forward. Giannakopoulos couldn't be clean with it. And Knights will boot it clear. All the time in the world for Stefan Bresevic to figure out what he wants to do. One of the multitude of players that have made the jump from the Bentley Greens to Dandenong City, Bresevic. Maybe he's somewhat different in that regard, in that he didn't play under Nick Tolios at the Bentley Greens. Signed by Rick Marchioli last season, after spending most of his career with the Bulleen Lions, but now going around for Hajduk in 2024. And Bresevic will come forward, and a bit of height in there. Long throw in. Knights will head it clear, only as far as Kim, who made decent contact with it. Just couldn't get the radar calibrated to send it on target. And the Knights will have another goal kick. And Oldfield getting set to put his boot through this one. Falls over as he does. Maybe that helped him get a bit of height on it. Dirty City coming back up with it though. Bauer, who has been involved quite a bit early, winning the free kick. Webster sitting out to Lino on the left. That's Saki for company. Back to Bresevic. High diagonal ball in, but just too much on that one. And Chris Oldfield will again have a opportunity to get things going. And again, Knights players will clear out as the custodian signals an intent to go long. Kept his footing this time and got a bit more distance on it. Webster's headers were sent back by Morton, now in dispute in the middle of the park. Franjic booting it out to the left where Sewell will collect. And a bit of space to operate in after Jan Albano grabbed the ball and carried it back inside. Jan Albano. Love his pocket pick, but only temporarily as the Knights win it back, and then Hall coming out and claiming in front of Bramwell.
Make sure we're going all together. We're too far apart. Get up, get him up.
Corey Sewell taking the throw in and getting the layoff. And after Lambatarides came up to contest, he can have another throw. One ball forward, Bramwell direction. Dirty City repulse any, well, untoward thoughts initially, until it's won back by Hoare. Barno now carrying it inside and then going himself. One-handed save from Hall. Saki keeping the play alive.
Back post, Tommy!
Both sides appealing for it. It'll be a goal kick. Hall High ball forward, headed down by Werndl. Appeals for a handball on Joseph Franjic. Unheeded.
Steph! As soon as we play them, we're fucking jogging out!
Morton winning the ball back.
Everyone,
Mataritas.
tell them to get out.
There for Dandy City.
Early.
And Knights beginning to impose themselves a little bit onto this game. No clear-cut chances. Albano forcing Hall to work with a shot from an angle, but a bit more luck. But having just said that, here comes Dandy City. Chesnick. Sidious on the overlap, and then the ball in. Cross-come shot, really. Bet each way. Flies out for another Melbourne Knights goal kick. Right there in front of the Filipovic stand here at the Frank Holohan Soccer Complex. Brezovic and Brumwell went for the ball. Dandy City, well, I was about to say they would eventually come up with it, but they couldn't be clean. Will again instead be in dispute. Corey Sewell knocking it forward, only as far as Jack Webster. Potentially a bit of space for George Lamboridis. He keeps play moving. Bauer ignores the underlapping run of Lino. Headed back by Valley Chesnick, but very difficult ask there to try to head it back across the face of goal whilst all your momentum is taking you in the opposite direction. And it'll fly out instead for a goal kick. And not the best goal kick from Oldfield. Won't be punished as Ivan Franjic collects and boots it down the left for Albano. He's got Brumwell in the middle. And Hall with a strong collection, and it had to be strong. And Dandy City survive. For now at least, as the Knights again look to come down this left flank. Sewell. Right-footed ball in, it's going to spill, and then he turned in. Mitchell Hall with a goal, his fourth of the campaign. And that left flank that the Knights have been targeting throughout the opening stages of this game eventually produces the goal. Well, the cleanest defending in the world by Dandy City, and they are made to pay. Corey Sewell's delivery turned in by Mitch Hall. And the Melbourne Knights, as they did in the first meeting between these two sides, take an early lead, up 1-0. Ivan Franjic claims the ball back for the Knights immediately and gets the Saki as the visitors go in search of a 1-2 quick-fire punch. Nice little back heel by Franjic to Saki. And then the outside of the boot cross, looking for Brumwell, claimed by Hall. Indeed, as I mentioned, first meeting between the two sides at Knight Stadium back in round 5. It was Gian Albano who opened scoring there in the 14th minute. And then he made it 2-0 in the 64th. Only for Kenny Athieu and Tim Atherinos to strike the 66th and 68th minute to force a 2-2 draw in that game. That was actually the first draw in the NPL history of this Dandy City Melbourne Knights rivalry. To that point, it had been the Melbourne Knights with a wood over their rivals. 5 wins compared to Dandy City's 2. And now, thanks to Mitch Hoare, they have taken one step on the way to making it 6 wins. The Dandenong City haven't been the best side here at Frank Holohan Soccer Complex throughout the 2024 campaign. 2 wins, 2 draws against 4 defeats. Comparison, 5 of their 7 wins have come on the road, including 2 of the wins in this 3-game winning run that they've come into today on. Against Oakley last week and away to Altona a few weeks ago. 2-0 win over St Albans between them. High ball forward. It's kept alive, at least initially, by Saki. Only for him to be told that he was doing so from an offside position. Webster to take. Will eventually fall to Saki, looking to combine with Hoare. Now finding himself working against Bresevic on the attacking right flank of the Knights. Crossfield ball. Sewell collects, sends it to Albano. Xidius keeping them company. Chesnick there as well. Joseph Franjic. Albano. Sewell. Knights doing well to keep play alive and work it through. Hoare looking for his brace, couldn't make proper contact with the shot. And John Hall gets down low to claim. Bauer keeps it in. Then he's forced to look at Skyward into a 50-50. Carrigan winning the header. Jackson Lino to take. There's a fresh airy there from Giannakopoulos. Webster kept the ball along the turf. And Dandy City will emerge with it. Xidius. Bauer. His cross deflected, and then the resulting shot at the top of the box from James Xidius. Slices off his boot and out for a goal kick. Free kick for the Melbourne Knights. Brumwell winning it for his side. Carrigan combining with Werndl, the 2 centre-backs. He'll just knock something speculatively forward. Corey Sewell bustling forward, looking for Albano. A couple of options waiting in the box, Brumwell and Saki. Can have another go now. Trying to thread the eye of the needle, the West Australian winger. Deflected away. It's So we'll go all the way back to Oldfield. His ball straight to Resovic. Lino got in the right of that Joseph Franjic ball. Dandy City coming up with it. Hall sending it out to Webster. Dandy City look to get into shape, play this one out. Just able to keep it in. Couldn't combine with Exidius to spur his side up the pitch. Coach Nick Tolios extolling his side to get up, erect the cordon, and they have been able to force a turnover. Dandy City. Atharinos. Timothy Atharinos on the ball, little step over, and then a ball in, but there was nobody really arriving at that near post. Giannakopoulos now. Lino. He'll loft something in, and well, Oldfield had to react in midair there as he realised that that wasn't bending back. And in the end, he just rises high enough to knock the ball over the crossbar for a goal kick. Sorry, corner kick. And Lino there, I'm not sure how intentional it would have been, but coming very close to tying things up. Dandy City now though. Something from the training ground. Kim didn't make really good contact with the shot. Knights block it away. Zidius lofts it out to the left. Central header from Webster. And another one from the Dandy City skipper. Ball in dispute. Just anywhere but here, says the Knights. Dandy City looking to keep the pressure on. Another high ball in. Carrigan, defensive header. Saki. Looking for Hoare down the flank. Will fall to Lambadaridis. Lino. Atharinos waits in the middle, as was Valley Chestnut. You could see him winding up. Lambadaridis keeping the play alive. Bauer winding up. What a strike! Will Bauer pick that one out? A more sweetly hit ball you will struggle to find. The Dandy City winger almost opened up for him in slow motion as he picked out that far corner of the net and went bang. He's fourth of the campaign. It's a big one, restoring parity here at Frank Holohan's Soccer Complex. Dandenong City won, Melbourne Knights won. Now, with this game restored to parity, the Knights will have themselves a free kick. Can they ensure that that sense of equilibrium lasts naught but a few moments? As Franjic. And well, we know Ivan Franjic can certainly deliver a ball on a dime. As he sends that one into the top of the box, scoots through the first line of defence, cleared away at the second time of asking. Ball booted forward for Saki, and Saki was in an offside position. So Adine Saki leads the league in successful dribbles per game, according to SofaScore, with 6.4. Also overnights highest rated player of the season, according to SofaScore. So fine addition to their ranks for 2024. As Bramwell sends it to Hoare. Albano going to work on the left. Xidius trying to marshal him as he cuts inside. Then winding up Gene Albano. Came up on John Hall in a flash. But he was able to collect. He didn't have to move laterally to get to it, but to claim it nonetheless. Gene Albano, 4 goals on the season for Albano. Second on the Melbourne Knights, trailing only Kieran Bramwell. He got his 9th in that win over St Albans last week. Mitchell Hoare were the other, so now Hoare has 2 goals in as many weeks. Oldfield. Again, a lot of height and distance on that one. Found the teammate in isolation in Bramwell, but Bramwell's ball in Zanafasaki wasn't a good one. Labanaridis working against a few to try to get the ball. Unsuccessful. Kim sends it back in that direction, only as far as Franjic. Now Joseph Franjic skies another ball. Headed back down. Labanaridis couldn't control it. And that'll be a handball against Dandenong City. Carrigan and Labanaridis for company. And then Atherinos ensuring that Oldfield had to just sky something and it bounces out. Labanaridis losing the ball. Morton collected, but advantage played. Joseph Franjic poking it for Albano. Xidius picks it out. Atherinos unable to burst forward. Going to back up the highs of that wonderful solo run and strike against the Cannons last week, Atherinos. Leads the team in scoring involvements, does Timothy Atherinos. He's got 5 goals and 2 assists. Despite only playing around 36% of available match minutes for the side this season. Well, Lino going down there sounded like he was immediately in pain.
Hey, are you watching? No, we're not saying that. How's that a free kick, though? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm asking. Why is it a free kick? No, I said our own player, yes. But what's the free kick?
Lino did collide with his own player there, which has led to Nictolius asking of referee Pascal Isnos, just why is it a Melbourne Knights free kick if it was an incident of friendly fire? Saki now, Lino looks to have shaken off the knot. Saki knocking it in straight to the breadbasket of John Hall. And Marcelo Vasilitov, the 4th official, just in conversation with Nictolius, trying to keep the peace. And as mentioned, Ivan Franjic, a player coach, so doesn't have to observe the restrictions associated with the technical area like his opponent in Nictolios does. Milosevic. Get the ball forward, and then the cheeky little attempted back heel from Bauer for Lino. Didn't come off. Hoare. Keeping the ball in and playing it central to Bramwell. Giannakopoulos was there, ensuring that the Knights' talisman couldn't turn inside at central. As the visitors try to get things going with a throw in on the right flank. Now they can have another. Webster giving it along the turf, sending it to Chesnick, goes back to Hall, high ball forward. Now there's a bit of space out here on the right for Exidius. Well, there was for him to attempt to exploit, and he's going to do enough to win a free kick against Sewell. Naught to come of it as Hoare boots it away. There's no Melbourne Knights players waiting to make a contest of that one. High crossfield ball. Bauer the intended recipient. Fradic with the header. Fradic looking for an option. Putting it forward to Bramwell, who wanted a free kick against Lino and will get one. And then he's going to earn himself a yellow card for preventing the free kick.
Harley, what's the new rule, Harley?
Fradic now, another opportunity to send something into the Dirty City penalty area. Looking for his brother, Joseph Fradic. Will end up being a free kick for Dandy City. Quite make out the linesman behind the tree line here. Frank Holohan, see if that was offside or a little foul in the build-up. Results of both actions, of course, would have been the same, and that was that free kick taken by Hall. Bauer. Then Kim. Keeping it in. I think as far as Joseph Fradic. Mataridis giving chase as Corey Sewell. Bit of a poor ball for Carrigan. He's got Fradic backing him up. Or to Saki. Advantage played as there was a collision between Hoare and Lino. Saki. Back to Fradic. Carrigan. Closed down by Atharinos. Here's a handball. Waved away. Bauer. Let's poke it clear of him. Carrigan. Got underneath that one and setting it, well, at least setting it into the Dandy City half of the pitch before it goes out for a throw-in. Atharinos heads it on, but away from George Mataridis. Werndl. Already seen him go on a few runs from his position at centre-back, Werndl, but on that occasion he turned and sent it to Corey Sewell. Look at Saki. Central to Hoare. Danny Kim. Getting across to dispossess him. Kim Mitchell Hoare, of course, bit of a reunion for them. Got the Queensland boys, history with Lions FC up there in the NPL Queensland competition. Really, as you would expect from an NPL men's Victoria game, plenty of Queenslanders out there today for both sides. Highlighted, of course. Well, it's highlighted. He's not a native Queenslander, but Ivan Franjic, member of that Raw Salona sides. Danny City now. Sending a free kick into the top of the box. It'll come out to the very back. Giannakopoulos, though, it's closed down. A nice high throw in. Bresevic couldn't head it on. Danny City, opportunity to sort of lock their foes in. Giannakopoulos, the smart play to take it around the charging Albano. Then they're going to have a free kick down to Dandenong City in the middle of the park. So opportunity once more to get set up and get some height forward. Stefan Bresevic, after a bit of a conversation with Nick Tolios, he's going to get up there. The skipper, Jack Webster, already there in the penalty area. Atharinos to take. Good looking delivery in, headed clear by the Knights. Hoare got there in front of Kim. Now Albano goes back to get it. Initially being dispossessed by Kim. And then Danny City in their haste to get back. Going to give away the free kick. Trainer has come out to work on Jan Albano, who has remained down. Corey Sewell has moved to take up his advanced position on the left. And Albano, well, he'll get back to his feet and he'll make his way over to that far touch line. So no thoughts of any sub potentially being required for the winger. But the Knights will have to take this free kick down to 10. Temporarily at least, as Werndl swings something in. Second ball, won by Kim. Saki, not a lot of proper contact with it. Appeals for a free kick before Corey Sewell winds up. But the free kick will be coming back. Morton. No, it won't be coming back. The advantage, it looks like, was played in the end, and Morton informed of that, I believe. Kim nods it on, only as far as Sewell. Bramwell nodding it on to Gian Albano. Again, he's looking to cut inside. The overlap to Bramwell. Deflected and finding the net. And on the stroke. Well, sorry, as we approach the halftime break, the Melbourne Knights restore their lead, getting down that left flank once again. And the ball bouncing into the back of the net. And the Knights, well, they haven't been the happiest customers. They thought they should have had some free kicks and more opportunities to get forward, but they do have that lead. Ivan Franjic just in consultation for the referee as the rest of the squad moves back into their positions. As play prepares to resume once more. Score is now Dandenong City 1, Melbourne Knights 2. Can Dandy City find a way back into this one before the halftime break? Saki. Lino for company. Carrigan. The head of Franjic, Bresovic. Defensive header.
He's got his hands up. The lines have put his hands up.
Dandy City wanted a free kick.
Don't worry about the officials then. Let him play.
Not awarded as Franjic gets things going, throwing it to his brother Joseph Franjic. Sewell. Touch to take him away from Bailey Chesnick. Albano now. Winning a free kick. Throw taken quickly. Bauer. Nice turn from Lamadarides. His fourth official Salinov indicates that there will be 3 minutes of added time here at the end of the opening stanza at Frank Holohan Soccer Complex. And it will commence with Dandy City having a free kick in a position wherein, well, it's definitely shooting areas just a bit further out from where we saw Will Bauer open Dandy City's account for today. Timothy Atharinos standing over the ball, as is Valley Chesney. Both do know how to hit them. Atharinos and Chesney. Atharinos just deftly place it into that top left-hand corner. Just too much curl on it as it sails wide of that leftmost upright. From our broadcasting position, of course. There's Chris Oldfield. Again, sends the troops long. Saki giving chase. Keeping it in. The back heel. Hall had to work to keep it in and just play it to Morton, who in turn has to go back to Franjic. High ball over the head of Brumwell, who lost it in the sun perhaps. Hoare. Saki to Joseph Franjic. Saki. Clever touch to take him around one man. Albano's lurking and putting that one well over the crossbar and indeed over the fencing behind the goals there, and setting someone a task to go and fetch that one, probably during the halftime break, given that it is just moments away. Hall booting it forwards. Carrigan with the header. Albano turning it on, but there's nobody there to contest it for the Knights. Chesnick taking the ball away from Sewell. Atharinos across the face, but there's nobody there to meet it. It was probably a bit too high, even if they had been. And with that, foray forward, the opening stanza will end. And it is the visitors, the Melbourne Knights, that will head to the dressing rooms with a 2-1 lead here at Frank Holohan Soccer Complex. A back and forth game, but indeed it is the visitors who look, well, they have taken one major step on the road to staying in touch with the playoff places and snapping this 3-game Dandenong City winning run. Big second half coming up here on the NPL Victoria YouTube page. You'll have the countdown clock for company as we await the recommencement of action. Be sure to join us on the other side of that for the second stanza. change for Dandenong City. Welcome back to Frank Holohan's Soccer Complex here in Melbourne's southeast for round 18 action of the NPL Men's Victoria season, and it is the host, Dandenong City, that trail 2-1 as we prepare to bring you all the second half action here on the NPL Men's Victoria YouTube page. As Dandenong City coach Nick Tolios also springs a double change. Martinovic and Jacob Alexander entering the fray for Dandenong City, who restored the game to parity through an absolute wondrous strike from Will Bauer, only to fall behind just before the half-time break through back on the replay. Certainly seems like it might have been an own goal, even if the Knights' social channels have awarded it to Gian Albano. Have to wait for the official refs report for that one. Regardless, though, the deficit is very official and it is very real for Dandenong City as they seek to maintain a 3-game winning run. There's Joe Lynch. Thank you ever so much for joining me once again here on the other side of the halftime break as we wait to see whether or not Hajduk can engineer a change around in their fortunes as they look to come down this left flank through Alexander. Came off the bench last week as well in their win over the Oakley Cannons. Martinovic getting an early touch as well after coming on. Going to work against Albano, doesn't come off.
Belly touch, belly touch.
It's tempted to work the ball down the right, now central to Joseph Franic, who's got a lot of time to figure out what he wants to do. Wanted to play it into the path of Corey Sewell, doesn't come off. Ball in across the face. Saki brings it down, and he'll get it back from Ivan Franic. Saki working against the newly introduced Alexander. Lovely ball to Ivan Franic. Looking for an option. Skied off the boot of Webster. Sewell with a header. And it's claimed by John Hall. Alexander, Ratharinos, and that ball across the face, can't find anyone.
Run with urgency! In the box! Come on! Next one! Stay out! Stay out! Steph, don't drop!
Players that made way for Dandenong City, by the way, well, as you might have picked up, it's changing the wing-backs. James Exidius and Lino both making way at half-time, and, well, the Knights were certainly making headway, particularly down their left flank with driving down and cutting it back. Tolios not liking what he would have seen, albeit The defence once again making headway down the flanks, this time the right one through Saki. Closed down by both Alexander and Bresevic. Franjic back central for Morton. Ivan Franjic again. Closed down. Eddie City trying to break quickly. Important intervention from Carrigan, the sliding challenge. Oldfield. It's Carrigan. High ball forward. So nobody really in particular. And Eddie City will have a throw in on their defensive left flank. Other subs available for coach Nick Tolios off the bench. Well, there's the backup goalkeeper, Luke Saunders, Kenny Athew, Seb Hernando, and Brady Quinn. Kenny Athew, who missed last week's win over the Cannons with injury. Wasn't able to start today as he continues his recovery, but will be an option off the bench. Meanwhile, the Knights' options off the bench, they've got Jacob Weissman, the backup goalkeeper. As that one should be the defensive header for Webster back to Hall, which it was. Then Steve White, who's back onto the team sheet. He's available off the bench for the Knights, as is Felipe Sanchez, Thomas Karlovic, John Mabok and Joel Brandt. Brandt coming into the side after Anthony Giselle's fitness test decreed he wouldn't be able to take part. Therinos keeping the play alive, and then Alexander setting it in, knocked on. If in dispute, Chesnick denied on a few occasions by Chris Oldfield in its scrambling defence. Franjic knocks it clear. And then appeals for a free kick after Bresevic's header forward, and it's going to be headed by referee Pascalis Natas. Will Bauer getting back to his feet, and Dandy City will have another free kick. We saw just before the halftime break from a similar position on the park up the other ends. Therinos bending something beyond the near post. This time, Valley Chesnick stands alone over the ball. 3-player wall for the Knights. Well, indeed, Chesnick. He's only ever going to be shooting from that position, but just too much on it, too much power. And it flies over the crossbar for a goal kick. Gust of wind comes across the surface of the pitch here in Melbourne South East, Frank Holohan Soccer Complex. It's been a bit of wind about, and it's chilly conditions, but mercifully the sun around as well. No rain for these players to contend with. As that ball bounces out, and it will be a Dandenong City ball. Just inside the Knights' half by the look of things. Martinovic, the newly introduced right back, to take. Chesnick coughs the ball up though. Albano wanted Morton, instead Danny Kim. Bauer looking for Alexander on the overlap, forced wide, clever back heel from George Lambateridis. In the end, the idea might have been sound, just couldn't execute it with enough power. Chris Oldfield collects it. The subs who had been warming up on the Dandy City bench return. We'll see if that augurs any further changes in the subsequent minutes, or if Nick Tolios just wants to let things play out for just a little bit more longer. And I think Ivan Franjic has been called for a foul throw. I don't know how many occasions the long-time Socceroo World Cup representative, Asian Cup winner, was ever called for a foul throw in his career. Bresovic. Lofting it forward only as far as his opposition centre-back, Kerrigan. Or brought down from behind by Bauer, and that'll be a free kick. And indeed, it looks like Dandy City are preparing at least one further change. See who that is as the Knights prepare to take another free kick. Dandy City coming into this game and committed more fouls than the other side. Sorry, the second most fouls of any team in the league with 11.5. Only South Melbourne with 13.2 per game had committed more. Equal most yellow cards in the league coming into this from Dandy City, albeit haven't had a single player dismissed yet. Bresovic's ball finds space but no teammates. It's Carrigan. Looks it in the Saki direction. Alexander with the defensive header. Giannakopoulos. Back to Webster. High ball in the Martinovic direction. Corey Sewell getting across. Kneeing it out. Looks like Kenny Atthew set to be summoned. The tracksuit bottoms are off. The shorts are on. The Dandy City bench wanted to make the change. Doesn't look like they'll get permission to do so. But yes, as Sewell gets us going once again. Martinovic trying to combine with Kim, and now the ball will go out, and that will signal the substitution. And it will be Timothy Atharinos, the youngster, who will make way for Kenny Atthew. So one scorer of 5 goals this season makes way for another. The King, Kenny Atthew. Heads straight out to the tip of this Hajduk spear. And potentially an opportunity to get involved early. Lambataritas looking for him. King Kenny Atthew! Finds the net immediately! Off the bench, onto the score sheet within seconds. Kenny Atthew. Not the cleanest of shots he will ever take, but that matters naught as it finds the back of the net and ties this game up. Dandenong City 2, Melbourne Knights 2. Well, credit Nick Tolios. There's instant impact, and then there's that. Imagine if you can scarcely believe it. Now, can Dandy City capitalise on the momentum? They have come back and erased the deficit twice now. Kim scans behind him, sends the ball back towards Alexander. Advantage played. Saki potentially got a hand to it, albeit the hand was more protecting his face than actually trying to stop the ball, one imagines. Oh no. Saki will receive a yellow card potentially for that handball then. Coming back.
I honestly did not know what it was for.
Long throw in. Potentially hands there from Bresovic. Play on. There's a Franjic heads it away. Martinovic trying to keep play going for the hosts. Kim. Looping header. Back towards the Knights' goal. Chesnick lost it behind him. Martinovic was trying to claim. 4. making the intervention and in the end winning his side throw-in. Sewell to Albano. Tinovic at his back. Now Dandy City coming up with it. Bauer flashing his shot across the face of goal, but last taking a touch off the Melbourne Knights. Corner kick. The runs come. Corner delivered. It's a good one to the back post, just over the head of Thomas Giannakopoulos. Albano looking up, wanting the run of Saki. Coming out of his area was John Hall. Chesnick now. Alexander let it run to Hall, his keeper. But he put his boot through it. It's going to beat George Lambarinus and go out for a Knights throw-in. Dandy City coming away with it. Giannakopoulos. Tinovic. Over Bauer. Werdle was defending, giving away the free kick. And Dandy City continuing to knock on the door here. There's a cumulative pressure. It's already led to the equaliser through Kenny Athew.
Michael, stay there. Stay there, Will, too.
And now Jacob Alexander coming across from his position at left back to take this one. Will be an in-swinging left-footed delivery. Alexander's ball. Good defensive header from the Knights, who win a free kick in the process as well.
Stay, don't drop. Stay. DK will tuck. Go, hurry.
Oldfield boots it in the Albano direction. Martinovic wanted a free kick against Bramwell as the ball came in. Wasn't there, but he's going to have to get back now. Not for long, because the flag went up. Have to be careful, Dandy City, when the Knights are coming down this left flank. It has proven happy hunting grounds for them today. Steve White comes across for the Knights, preparing to enter the fray. As the Knights win themselves a free kick, and Michael Martinovic has got into the book. Now Steve White preparing to come on in place of Jack Norton. So Steve White back enters the game for his first appearance since April. Cleared away, Knights throw in. Deep on their attacking left flank. And another ball that some brave volunteer is going to have to fetch from, well, it's probably rolled down the hill here at Brentwell Land Soccer Complex. Sewell lost his footing. Kept the ball though, did very well, Corey Sewell. A Eventually, Dandy City poke it away from him. Bresovic carrying the ball forward, the Dandy City centre back. Wanted Alexander, just a step behind where the left back needed it. It'll beat him and head out for a Melbourne Knights throw in on that right flank. Ivan Franjic to Carrigan. Oldfield. High ball forward from Carrigan over the top of Kieran Bramwell, and it's going to roll all the way through to Hall. Martinovic kept it in, and then back away from Gino Barno. Back to Webster. And the pressing work from Hall. Will it pay off? Bramwell! The goal from Kieran Bramwell, the massive, massive assist for the pressing of Mitch Hall. They force the error from Dandy City and they promptly make them pay. For the third time today, the Knights move back into the lead. It is Dandenong City 2, Melbourne Knights 3 here at Frank Holohan Soccer Complex. Bramwell's 10th goal on the season. The West Australian filling his boots in this 2024 NPL Men's Victoria season. It's his 12th score involvement of the year. He's got a couple of assists now to go with 10 goals. And today he has restored his side to the lead. Can Dandenong City find a way to produce another equaliser? Bauer scored their first. Kenny Athieu off the bench and got their second. Well, turning it around the corner for Saki. Alexander sliding through, putting it out for a corner. There's more changes coming from Dandenong City. Brady Quinn and Seb Hernando preparing to enter the contest. They will have to wait, though, for this corner kick with everybody getting back to defend for Dandy City. All 11 of their players inside the penalty area. Massive bodies in the 6-yard box as the delivery comes in. And a free kick was found on Corey Sewell. Giannakopoulos and Bauer will make way for the newly introduced Hernando and Brady Quinn. So Nick Tolios has exhausted his outfield options. This is the 11 that must find an equaliser if Dandy City are going to avoid falling into the losers section after entering today on a 3-game winning run. Well, the Knights' 3 goals are the first goals they would have conceded the month after winning 2-0 in all 3 of those games. Barno just trying to poke it forward for his fellow West Australian, and Bramwell didn't come off. Corey Sewell hurls it forward, only as far as Webster. Martinovic couldn't keep it in. Barno chesting it down and keeping the play moving. There's a Franjic. Saki. Kept it in, at least initially. Now Alexander, bit of space on the left, looking up, surveying the scene. Get forward to the newly introduced Hernando. Knights coming away with it in the midfield. Alexander getting across and putting a body in front of Mitch Hoare. Winning inside the throw-in. All knocked out to the left flank. Albano is going to give chase and get there first. In front of Martinovic. Albano feinting one way and then the other, getting to the byline. Only Alexander waiting for it. He's wearing a Dandenong City shirt. Look now, potentially looking to transition. Chesnick stood up by Sewell, only to blast past him. He's got Brady Quinn to his left, that's where it goes. Quinn! Saved by Oldfield. Now Albano. Game opening up a little bit. Albano playing it in behind for Saki Hall. Out of his penalty area and knocking it away. Now Quinn on the ball. Alexander on the overlap. That's where it goes. Across the face. Knocked out. Corner. So Jacob Alexander. Another opportunity to use that left boot of his to swing something in. Stefan Bresevic waits at the middle, as does Kenny Athew. Jack Webster as well. Ball in towards the near post, will bounce beyond them, and then Carrigan collects and boots it a long way away. Martinovic looking up, playing something in the Kenny Athew direction, gets to him over the head of Lambadaridis, trying to snake it through for Chesnick. Knights had the numbers. Bresevic headed down to Martinovic, ball around the outside. To the recipient was Hernando, but now Saki for the Knights. Offside. Webster. All in the Athew direction. Nodded on. Quinn. Trying to bring it down. Got Carrigan for company. Find a teammate. Has to go back to Kim. Danny Kim. Alexander. Back heel. Back to Kim. Got Hoare keeping him company. Brady Quinn now. White defending. Alexander. Chest down. That enabled Hoare to just come across and boot it back into the Dandenong City half of the field. Lando loses the ball as the Knights try to come forward. Albano was massively offside. I think he knew it too, before he at least kept the appearance's sake up by giving chase. Webster gets us going once again. Matthew winning his side a free kick. Using that body. Now Alexander coming up. Wanting to take this one quickly, which he does. Webster bowled over his opponent, looking for the ball, and that's going to be a free kick for the Melbourne Knights. And a yellow card as well. Webster's 6th on the campaign. As mentioned, Dandy City, well, they don't mind a yellow card, albeit still managing to avoid the wrath of the Reds so far. Chris Oldfield. Low delivery out. Kim knocks a high one forward for Dandy City. Again, Kenny Matthew using his body. Lambertaridis couldn't bring it down. Corey Sewell just boots the ball away. Some of the penalty area for Hall as he gets things going to his skipper. Webster. Martinovic. Keeps the ball in on the right flank. Albano getting the cross to lay the challenge and at least hold him up a bit. Bundled over by Sewell. Martinovic, play on. Those delivery blocked away by the Knights. Lambertaridis knocked over the top of Corey Sewell, who put his body into the Dandy City attacker to prevent him running onto it, but he's going to give away a free kick for that. Fernando now standing over the ball for Dandy City. Alexander there as well, and it looks like indeed it will be Jacob Alexander to take the designated set-piece specialist since he came on at half-time. Alexander, high ball towards the back peg. Bresevic is there. Oldfield with the save. Alexander will stay where he is in space. And takes this one. Oldfield with the punch. Knights not able to clear the danger. Franjic flies. Ball knocked back in. Bresevic giving chase, the centre back. Fancy footwork from him before he gives it back off to Hernando. Can the Dandy City find a way to whip this one in? Knights taking the ball back. White. Good touch to Hoare, who's going to go down and win a free kick. And that should at least see off the danger, at least temporarily, for the Knights. Oldfield's delivery. Prosevic with the defensive header. Sending it into touch on the Knights' attacking right flank. Ivan Franjic sending this one to the top of the box. Alexander coming away with it. Chesnik trying to play it into the path of Martinovic. Albano intercepted. Alexander. Pass one. Can't get past Joseph Franjic, but Mitch Hora judged to have unfairly impeded him. Alexander keeping it low on the turf of Brady Quinn. Franjic takes it back for the Knights. Alexander. First attempted ball bounces back to him. Hall. High ball forward. Carrigan's header. Hernando. Heavy touch. But they had a lot of work to do and he was unable in the end to keep it in. Albano, as it bounce away from him after Webster came across to defend. Goal kick taken quickly. Dandy City looking to keep the pace high in their quest to find what would be a third equaliser of the game. Hernando. Getting away from White and central to Chesnik. Back out to Hernando, delivery to the top of the box. Nobody there to meet it for Dandy City. Prosevic heading it down to Martinovic. Looking for Kenny Athieu over his head. Joseph Franjic heads it on. Kim playing it across for Lambadaridis, who puts the ball over the bar. Kurisul, ball in his hands. The Knights left back. A bit central, but only as far as Danny Kim. Kenny Athieu brings it down, trying to hold the play up. Ball ricocheting around. Eventually, Kurisul on it. Looking for Saki. It's a beautiful ball. Saki to kill this game. Cool finish from Saki. Pitch perfect delivery from Corey Sewell. And in one fell swoop, the Melbourne Knights might have just shut the door on this one. The first 2-goal lead of the game. Sewell to Saki, making it Dandenong City 2 and the Melbourne Knights 4. See if Ian Saki gets his third goal on the campaign. And Dandy City get us kicked off once again here now. That 3-game winning run. Very much seeming set to be ended at the hands of their The Crow Derby foes, the Melbourne Knights, who will take themselves to 6 wins in the history of this NPL rivalry. Important win, as mentioned at the top of the broadcast for the Knights, ensuring that they will at least stay in touch with the playoff places, that top 6. It's a big game for the Knights next Friday evening at home against Moreland City, as they look set to be chasing a 3-game winning streak in that contest. Meanwhile, a huge game for Dandenong City next week. It's the Dandy Derby. Dandy City against the Dandy Thunder. Across at George Andrews Reserve on Saturday night. Dandy City maybe happy to be heading down on the road. As mentioned in that first half, haven't been the best side at home, just 2 wins compared to 4 defeats, looking set to be 5 defeats now. As Hoare keeps play moving to Bramwell. And it's going to come back for a foul against Mitchell Hoare, the Queenslander. Kim with a defensive header after the delivery from Steve White. Carrigan knocking it out to Hoare with Vasaki, who's beaten Alexander into space on this right flank. Carrying it back. Joseph Frangis was waiting at the top of the box, couldn't find him. Wernell got there in front of a few. The Knights now in search of a 5th. Bramwell. Hoare. Albano bounces off his shins. Chesnick bundled over by Sewell. Tinovic lofts the ball forward. Few with the touch. Alexander. Chesnick giving something to chase, keeping it in. Out to Brady Quinn on the left. Alexander. Over Lambadaridis. Let's clear it away. And as they do once more. A high ball out. Saki's going to give chase. Brestovic keeping him company. Not a lot of Knights forward. So he's going to carry the ball back and lay it off for Ivan Franic. To White. Wernell. Pass got away from him. Kim. Fernando. Carrying the ball forward. He's got Quinn on his left. That's where it goes. Intended first time cross is closed down by Ivan Franic. Hoare. Combining with Carrigan. It's not a good ball centrally as Chesnick knocks it down for Hernando. Thought about the long range shot, blocked away. Alexander keeping the play moving to Webster. Chesnick. Lambadaridis. Got the shot away. Couldn't beat the bodies in front of him. Saki now. Looking for Albano. Finding Gian Albano. Put the cherry on the sundae, maybe no. Winning the penalty instead, Gian Albano. Brought down by John Hall as he carried the ball into the box. And it will be a yellow card as well for John Hall, that double jeopardy rule. Saving the Dandenong City keeper after he brings down Gian Albano as he bore down on goal. And he's remained down on the turf as well. Albano. Remember, the Knights winger did require a bit of extended treatment in the opening stanza as well, so... Well, but there's nothing that cures the ailments quite like the opportunity to score a penalty. And Gian Albano back to his feet. And looking to fire this one home and put an exclamation point on proceedings. Gian Albano. Saved by Hall. But it's coming back. Is it? Encroachment? It will. Oh, and Albano will get a mulligan. So obviously one of the defenders that got to the ball after Hall's save got a bit of a head start, and Albano, can he make do with a reprieve? Yes, he can. You don't want to be giving Gian Albano second chances. He makes it 5-2 to the visitors, the Melbourne Knights. Meanwhile, a change being made as well. Saki coming off the pitch, being replaced by Felipe Sanchez, and it looks like 5 minutes of additional time will be played here as well, as in the 90th minute. Gian Albano. And play resumes here at Frank Holohan Soccer Complex. The Knights have kicked away here, and after being pegged back to 2-2 in the early stages of this second stanza, roared away and are going to run out comfortable victors in the end. And indeed comfortable enough that they are now going to empty their bench in these last exchanges. A few. The long range effort, Oldfield. Maybe a bit of worries about being clean. Lomadarides was waiting there if he dropped the ball, but was able to get his mitts around it. And now Thomas Karlovic, John Mabok and Joel Brandt all waiting to be summoned onto the pitch as Hernando carrying the ball into the penalty area for Dandy City. Back heel for Kim. Kenny Atthew lost his feet. Hoare, Bramwell. Webster poking it away. Bresovic wanted to carry the ball forward. We'll have to get back. Lomadarides out to Alexander. Yeah, we're coming together behind the play there. Meanwhile, Danny Kim getting it across to Hernando. Chesnick. And then the ball looping up with the defender's boot and being claimed by Chris Oldfield. It's not what Oldfield wanted to do with that one. Although maybe he did, maybe want to get the kids on. As they can all come on now. Karlovic, Mabok and Brandt coming on, replacing Bramwell and the two Franjiches, Joseph and Ivan Franjic. They will depart with their side firmly in control of this one, up 5-2 here in added time at Frank Holohan Soccer Complex. Ivan Franic immediately moves to don the tracksuit top. As he now can patrol the technical area in these last few moments. Kim, high delivery in. Athieu nods it on. Webster was there. Athieu got a head on it. Over the crossbar. At to Quinn. Alexander across the face. It's going to fall for Chesnick, but his shot's deflected away for a corner. Dandy City, at the very least, can maybe pursue something. Goal difference, perhaps. Ball delivered in. Oldfield with a punch. Wasn't the best of them, but the Knights are going to get it away. At least as far as Danny Kim. Alexander over the byline. Well, he found it, and then he kept going over it. And full time here at Frank Holohan Soccer Complex in Melbourne Southeast, and it is the Melbourne Knights that have made the trek across town from Sunshine and will return with the 3 points, running out 5-2 victors in the end, kicking on in the second stanza. They had been pegged back to 2-2 by Kenny Athieu moments after he was introduced, but storming home in the end. Saki, Bramwell and Albano, their three attacking difference makers, ensuring that they would run out with a big 3 points, an important 3 points in the context of their season. Dandenong City, their 3-game winning run comes to an end, but their thoughts can now turn to an absolutely mammoth clash against the Dandy Thunder coming up. My name has been Joey Lynch. Thank you so much for keeping me company today on the NPL Victoria YouTube channel. Just a reminder, you can catch every game of the NPL Men's Victoria season, every game of the NPL Women's Victoria season, select Doherty Cup, select Nike FC Cup games, select games from all across the Victorian ecosystem on there as well. Make sure you subscribed and be a friend and tell a friend to get themselves subscribed as well. That's just about it from here in Endeavour Hills. That final scoreline, one final time, Dandenong City 2, Melbourne Knights 5. My name has been Joey Lynch. Thanks and success.